For this tutorial, this is the template that I'm going to be working with for a website that you could possibly make. So for my example, I made a web page that's all about things that I want to share. And on this page, I'm going to be embedding videos and music because those are the things that I want to share. So if you look on the HTML side, you'll see that I'm going to be adding a video from YouTube, I'm going to be adding a video from Vimeo, and I'm going to be inserting music from Bandcamp. For whatever your projects are, you don't have to use just these websites or platforms. There's lots of options for you to use, but this is what I'm going to show for this tutorial. Let's get started. First, I'm going to be working with a video from YouTube. So I'm going to go to the YouTube page, and here I already have an example lined up. So what this video is it's actually a song. I'm sure you guys have seen it already. You can find albums of your favorite musicians online, and it's in the video format, but it might just be a picture of an album. This example is like one of those videos. You'll see it is from Tech Kids Unlimited, and it's an example of a student's work. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear a little taste. Alright, so what this is, it's a remix version of Mario theme that we did with our GarageBand class. It was really fun and we decided to put it up online. So let's pretend that this is what I want to put on my website. How would I do it? So the first step, and this is going to be the same for you regardless of the video that you're going to share, is you're going to look for the share button. So I'm sure that you've clicked the share button to get this link before, so you can copy and paste and message it to your friends. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on the embed tag. And what you'll notice here is that on this line we have a piece of code that we could copy and paste straight into our website. I talked about earlier how there's an iframe tag, and here you can see that this code begins with iframe, which should indicate that this is what we would copy and paste to embed a YouTube video onto our website. But I'm going to show us some options of how we can customize our YouTube video for our website. So if you click on this button, Show More. Alright, so here are some options. The first one up here, we have a video size option. So we can pick the size of the video for our web page. What you'll notice is that when I change the size here, the preview stays the same size. That is because videos nowadays tend to be responsive and they'll adjust depending on the size of your container. But let's say I wanted my video to fill up a large amount of space on my website. I would want to pick a larger size, like 1280 by 720. We can also customize the size. So let's say you have a really specific area like that you want to fit it into, like 300 by, will it let you do that? Okay, it won't let you do that. It adjusts it automatically by the width, but you can customize the size if you think that something is too small or too big here. I'm just going to keep it on to 1280 by 720 for now. Here are some options of how to customize your video. So we already went over video size. And next we have another example where we can check on Show Suggested Videos from when the video finishes. So I'm going to push the button, play button real quick. So I'm sure you've seen this before, that at the end of your YouTube video, sometimes you'll have the option to keep browsing on YouTube. So the video is about to end. There you go. Now you can see it. So what we have here is we have a bunch of suggestions from YouTube for us to click onto and for the user to click onto. So let's say that your video finishes and you're really not a fan of YouTube giving them more suggestions. Maybe you want them to stay on your web page and not click off. Maybe you wouldn't want to have the suggested videos option on. So if you click this on, or I'm sorry, if you click on it, you'll see that it's unchecked. And what means is what will now happen when your video is done on your web page. So let's wait for the video to finish. it goes straight back to this screen. YouTube won't give them any options to keep clicking, and that might be good for you. Maybe that's how you prefer it to look, whether it makes it cleaner or maybe you want the user to stay on your website. I'm going to keep this unchecked because I like the clean look. We also have more options like show player controls. So right now it is on, but what happens when I turn this option off? So when the video is playing, I'm unable to lower the volume. I can't pause the video with it. I mean, I can pause the video, but I have to click on it, but I don't really have any options to scroll through the video or anything. Sometimes you might prefer that for your website, and then you would want to have the show players control option off. I'm going to keep it on because I like giving the users the option to be able to see that they can lower the volume or scroll around. Maybe they want to play with the settings over here, like speeding the video up or slowing the video down. All these options, I like to give these options to the user. So I'm going to keep the show player controls thing on. There's also the option to show video title and player actions. So right now it's checked on, but what happens is when I check this off, you'll notice that the title is no longer here on the left upper corner, and the options to share are off. So let's turn this back on. Yeah, and there you can see it. You can see the option to share is on, and when the user clicks on it, you can click this link or put it on Facebook or social media. And then over here we have the watch later option, so maybe the user wants to be able to watch the video later on a playlist, they would click this. It's up to you of whether you want this option to happen on your page, but you can always play around. Let's say that you're not sure at first. You can copy and paste one version of the video and then decide to paste a different video. So we're not going to go really too in-depth on the enable privacy enhanced mode, but right now I just recommend we keep it off, don't touch it, because it's not really important to our users that much. A point that I want to go over before we put this video onto our web page is I want you to look up here at the code. So something that you might not have noticed is that when we're clicking around different options, the code will change. So for example, let's say I turn the show player controls back off. You'll see that the numbers change over here. So the code is changing based on our selection. This is something that you don't have to memorize, meaning you don't have to memorize the options that you have to customize in the corresponding code, because there's a good chance that it's different depending on the website that you're at. So I don't recommend that you bother memorizing anything, but it is fun to play with if you understand what you're doing and what the things mean. But there's also a good chance that if you play around, you might just break your code. But it's kind of cool to see how things change. Anyway, I'm happy with how this looks like. I like having the title on. I like having the option of the player controls being on for our user. I love all of it. So now that I'm happy with my code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this. And you can do that by just double clicking and highlighting, or you can click at the end or beginning and scroll over. So I'm going to get at the end of the iframe with the closing tag, and I'm going to drag it all the way to the opening tag. And now that it's all there, I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to copy. And then I'm just going to go back to the web page, and I'm going to put the video where I want it to be. So I want my video to be under the video from YouTube header. So I'm going to click, I'm going to return, and then I'm going to paste it in. So what I did is I clicked, right clicked, click paste. So Thimble's saying that, oh, you shouldn't do that. So what I'm going to do is listen to it. I'm going to Command V. Oh, and I think I see my video on the preview side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on full screen, because remember, I had a really large option, file option for my video, and we'll see that my video is huge. In fact, it might be too huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of full screen. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to go back to YouTube. And let's see, maybe I need something a little smaller. I'm going to go with half, about a little less than half. I'm going to go 640 by 360, and we'll see that you can even see the adjustments over here of the code changing. And I'm going to back to copying it, going back to Thimble, and pasting. Alright, this looks already better. I'm going to go back to full screen to see if I like it, and I do. So yeah, YouTube is great because it makes it super easy for us to copy and paste videos the way that we want them to look onto our page. And this is something that you guys can easily do at home too. And remember, it's okay to change your code or realize you might not like something and then change it. I just did that myself. I didn't realize it would be too big until it happened. But that's the great thing about HTML, is that we can copy, paste, undo, redo until we figure out something that we like. It's all about experimenting, guys.